Hi again. It's the 61st video. Okay, my dad, he celebrated, well, his birthday was September the 20th of this year, and the Tunney Dempsey fight, which we were big fight fans. Him and I, we used to watch the fights together. And the Dempsey-Tunney fight happened on September 22nd. And for a long time I thought that my dad had, according to my mom, that he was actually born on the day of the Tunney Dempsey rematch. That turned out not to be the case. But anyway, this is dedicated to my dad, who was born almost on the eve of the Tunney Dempsey Heavyweight Championship rematch held on September 22nd, 1927, the first such event to have grossed over $1 million. $1 million in revenue. This is a parody and contrast of his life with that now famous event. Round 1. Is this life dawning or death in pieces? In installments is parody of two events not connected at face value, except as harbinger to life half empty, as shown by pugilists in Canvas Venue in Chicago, September 22nd, 1927, when challenger in rematch seeks to undo time and resuscitate moribund glory, which could not abide as championship was a fugitive, but harbinger in parody, 1,500 miles away, give or take. Round 2. That very distance away, 2 days prior, give or take, enters manchild, Contender, into a world expectant with strife and panic, as Contender wears belt of contention and crown of disappointment in not being the great Portuguese American hope, cast aside to hit proverbial canvas with a crashing splat. In Providence, Rhode Island, the conflux of canned immigrant hoped for glory in defense of a title which is rewarded with punches and championship belt of hardship and rejection, in parody as harbinger. Round 3. Atomic clap of leather glove, fist pounding flesh-bearing scar tissue as champion continues tedious dominance of befuddled challenger, applying the sweet science on the way to scripted victory. He starts the 7th round outpointing his ancient foe, when the polarities suddenly reverse as challengers grasp at straw's left hook, lands in judgment, dropping champion to canvas floor like origami, as soldier field levitates and contorts in disbelief. Challenger cannot find neutral corner, so referee delays count, the long count, as champion uses every trick to advantage in rising at the count of 9, give or take. No respite for Contender, in parody as harbinger. Round 4. Contender is knocked down before first awareness to punch back, as fitted for goat's horns, donkey's ears, and dunce cap, without latitude to question, only to accept the chump's belt around the neck, as indentured servant to preordained prophecy in predestined strangeness, since Contender cannot understand the foreign speech in his own birthland. Still the stranger, at the count, as the count reaches 9, give or take, beating it by a breath, but not before he rises minus a rib, since there is no neutral corner, as punches still rain from all directions. In life, the opponent does not stop punching in bunches, and so he must retreat to fields of comfort with buckshot and hound. This is natural, and fits better than fleshly iron gabardine, in parody, as Harbinger. Round 5. Could champion retain title, if not for the long count? It is moot, as prologue, since champion resumes his attack, the dust from canvas still clinging to trunk fibers, with syncopation as leather staccato on fleshly snare drum. Drumskin in blood as currency with hematoma dividends, since prodding challenger can't reach ubiquitous champion in parody of real contest, as contender cannot reach opponent who is illusion of all that he should be, but cannot defend against combinations and sticking jabs, as judges total scorecards in definitive tabulation of final punch count numbers and power shots, with extra point for knockdown. Challenger has lost in pugilistic match, but never in soul warfare, in Spartan sacrifice, in parody, as Harbinger. Round 6. We move to the championship rounds, as Harbinger in contrast sees opponent hit below the belt, punch on the break, grab and clutch the contender, inflict a telling headbutt, and bite and rabbit punch contender, who searches in vain for referee who is one and the same as opponent, and so no disqualification, which renders contender as wounded bystander, as the machine counts in dispassionate cadence, since warrior as pugilist has come back for the last time. The time has snuck up as winter frost to hang 'em up, in defiance of warrior vanity and quest for glory denied by end of life cycle. We now go to the scorecards for the decision, in final order to DNR, as reality has at last met Harbinger. The decision. Champion and challenger bond in solidarity as two champions and or two challengers in brotherly friendship. Contender has no such opportunity, leaving one son who is and should never have been, one son who was and is not, and manchild who is and almost never was. This as testimony belt around posterity with end of family bloodline, unanimous on all 3 of the judges' scorecards, in final fulfillment of Harbinger. Happy birthday, Pop. Thank you for watching.